I just built myself a new router table. You want to see all of its features? Stay tuned. The top is a torsion box construction with a cut-off kitchen countertop on top of it. I did keep the insert plate from the old router table and added leveling screws on the corners for some fine tuning. Unfortunately, I did not shoot any video of the router lift build, but here's some still shots I took. It's made from some linear slides, an Acme thread, and an old beat up cordless drill connected with a belt and pulley for the transmission part. I also installed a 6-inch DRO. The control panel was cut and engraved on the CNC machine, and a remote DRO display was recessed into the panel. The router lift is controlled by these two buttons for up and downward motion. And the speed can be adjusted, mainly for accurate positioning. I also installed 2 foot pedals for the same functions. They are really great when doing through slots and steps, and you want to keep both hands on the workpiece. And as you might see on the DRO screen, the speed control makes it really easy to dial in the correct position. I also added another function that I called park position. This blue button sends the router lift all the way to the top, and when it's at rest, a pneumatic cylinder engages the spindle lock. This makes it a lot easier to install the bits. A correct positioning to call it, as it only requires 2 hands for the operation. The fence is also salvaged from the old router table, but I made it a little more shallow to reduce the overhang in the back. Instead, I installed 2 sets of threaded inserts. If I want to make more room between the fence and the bit, I'll just move it to the back set. The front of the fence is also split, for making adjustments to the dust collector opening. Sometimes I still get some dust buildup along the fence, and to prevent this, I installed these flexible air nozzles. They blow the dust into the dust port of the fence. To micro adjust the fence, I leave one side slightly tightened as a pivot point. Then it's time for this little rascal to do its job. To get an exact reading of the travel distance, I snap this depth meter onto the magnets. To see the actual movement of the fence. When routing data is on the router table, it's a huge problem with all of the chips that shoots out of the dado. I drilled this port in the router plate, exactly in the path of the dust ejection. This cut is made without dust collection. This is with the dust collection turned on. It's a major difference. The dust collection is started with this slider, like all my blast gates around the shop. And I have this set up behind the table. An adjustable slider for the chute under the router, and a 3-inch hose on the fence. The control panel has 3 green buttons, one for spindle 1, one for spindle 2, and one for spindle 3. It also has 2 blue buttons, one for table 1 and one for table 3. Some of you might have seen an older video of my router table flip-up trimmer. This was used for quick and easy edge treatment. I wanted the same functions on the new router table as well, only with a little more cowbell. Spindle 1 has a small roundover bit. Spindle 3 has a 45-degree chamfer bit. So when the green spindle button is pushed, it automatically flips up the wing and starts to spindle. Spindle is a porter cable laminate trimmer, and as you can see, the table is flush with the top for extended workpiece support. The paddle switch is easily accessible and stops all motions on the rig. When the blue table button is activated, the wing folds up without starting the router. This makes it safe to adjust the height. Then it's just a matter of switching it on when ready. The wings are raised by these fairly large air cylinders and pivots on some heavy-duty hinges. The controls are installed in a drawer under the router. It consists of an old computer power supply for the cordless drill, a power supply for the inputs and the valves, the programmable logic relay, and the speed controller for the lift, and also 2 solenoids for the tables. And one for the spindle lock. These are some screenshots of the logical program I made. Showing different inputs and outputs. I really hope you liked the tour of the new router table, and maybe you got inspired to make your own version. Thanks for watching.